Hello and welcome to the lesson Risks, Identification and Mitigation. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify the various risks involved while planning a new business and learn how to mitigate them. To understand this better, let's look into a situation. This is Omar, who runs a noodle manufacturing business and has been selling noodles since last 5 years. His noodles are a favorite amongst children, youngsters and old alike. In fact, anyone who's looking to have a quick bite prepared at home. One fine day, a food inspector decides to send Omar's noodle packets to the laboratory for testing. The lab results indicate that his noodles contained MSG, a controversial flavor enhancer added to many types of foods. According to the Food Safety Rules 2011, MSG was not to be added to almost 50 food items including pastas and noodles. It could just be added as a seasoning used for pastas and noodles. What went absolutely against Omar was the fact that his packaging contained a label that said no MSG added. Omar had to immediately remove all his stock from the market, and that resulted in a lot of financial and reputation damage. So what went wrong in this case? What Omar failed to do was to assess the business risks attached to operating in a food market where health and safety are in focus. Let's understand what business risk is. It is the possibility of a business making losses due to uncertainties like increase in competition, changing needs of the consumers, changes in government policy, environmental factors, etc. Each business needs to identify these risks and prepare to mitigate them in order to ensure survival for a long term in the market. In this case, Omar failed to manage the operational risk. Although he did not add MSG to the noodles directly, some of the raw material he used may have contained the component. His operational failure was due to the fact that he failed to test his raw material for any such risky components. There are several types of business risks. Let's start with understanding the strategic risks. A successful business needs a well thought out business plan. However, due to factors like technological changes, new competitor entering the market, change in customer demand, rise in the costs of raw material, etc., the strategy can become outdated. This is known as strategic risk. Next, let's talk about compliance risk. You might be complying with all the laws and regulations required for your business. But if regulations change or if you decide to enter a new market where these regulations are different, you might need to bring changes to your business to comply with those regulations. This is known as compliance risk. Then there is financial risk. Most business risks lead to financial losses. Financial risk refers specifically to the money flowing in and out of your business and the possibility of a sudden financial loss. Delay in a payment by a customer, a big loan for which you need to pay a lot of interest, etc., can all lead to increased financial risks. Another very critical risk to consider is the reputational risk. In a business, reputation is very important. If you lose your reputation due to a lawsuit or low-quality products, your reputation will get impacted and you will suffer loss of money and customers. People working for you will also feel let down and might not want to work for you anymore. This might eventually lead to closure of your business. Last but not the least is operational risk, which refers to an unexpected failure in your company's day-to-day operations. It could be a technical failure or could be caused by your people or processes. This might have a big impact on your business, as if you're not able to meet customers' demand. You may face financial losses and your reputation might be damaged. This is the risk Omar failed to identify and hence suffered a tremendous loss. Omar soon realizes what went wrong and decides to renew and rebuild his image and brand from scratch. He came back in the market with more focus on health and safety and also started analyzing risks at a very early stage. Though it was possible for Omer to survive the crisis, it is very important for every business to identify risks at very early stage and mitigate them in time to avoid a crisis situation. Remember, many businesses would not have been able to survive such a major hit, and so it is essential to understand the basics of business risks and how to mitigate them. Today, Omer runs a very successful business once again and is really careful about the risks associated with his business. Let's recap what we learned from Omer's experience.